All right, let's see how horribly I failed at that intro, because there were a lot of moving parts to do turning things off. By starters, can anyone see me? This is highlighted in red. I don't know what that means. It probably means that you saw none of it, and I was just playing for no one just now. It says I'm live. Camera should be good to go now. Sounding sweet. Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to 2020. Yo, here we are at last, live, face-to-face. Who dis? You know, who dis? Messy hair after getting rained on like 3 different times today. Loud and clear. Yeah, baby. I just polished off some of you probably saw in the in the comment section, a cup of coffee with a bunch of espresso. So we'll see where the night leads us. Hair looks awesome. Hair feels awful. Like I said, after you get rained on a bunch and then it dries and then it rained again and you finish. Okay. Sorry, let me text my wife back real quick. Sorry, one second, guys. Okay, there we go. Well, like I said, welcome to 2020. When does NAMM start? NAMM starts next week. So, busy week next week. Good morning. Yo, 2020. Best fingerstyle practice. Ooh, I'm not really like a fingerstyle player, so I don't think I would have the credentials to answer that kind of question, I'm afraid. I thought I saw, was Tony here? Big Red Tower's here. Jason Wade. Good evening, man. Just cranking back up from the bad storm line. Oh, that came through earlier. You getting it? Yeah, it was. It didn't get bad storm-wise. It just was really windy and rainy. And it's still really, really windy, so I was kind of hesitant about doing the stream tonight. But so we'll see how that goes. Beavis, after all that caffeine. FX where you're running that intro through. That was just my Axe effects. So what I have now, normally I have like an 808 in my signal chain here. But I actually threw a fuzz face to get a little bit more of that fuzzy. And then I just had a trim on it, you know. And I was just making stuff up as I went. I think that's what I did. And then I did it again. I just knew I needed to get back to E somehow. And then it came to the bridge pickup. Sorry, not sure how that sounds with both the mic and everything. But that was pretty much it. Yeah, I found like a fuzz tone works so good with a Strat. Obviously. You don't need me to say that. Trim fuzz equals win. Yeah, it was great. You know, I was sitting here messing around right before I went live, and I always do this. And I just had the idea to base it around Lydian instead of Ionian. And I was like, it just needs something different. And I was like, oh, a trim would sound great there. And the tremolo like really just inspired the whole thing. Because like I said, I did that and I'm like, okay, that's good. I'll just kind of run with it once I go live. And I was just trying to think Lydian, and I like that little walk that I did. So on. Tony Zane, thank you very much. much. Usually can't talk. Hey, James, what's up, buddy? Ron, Pedro, what's up, brother? Carl, what's happened, man? Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Like I said, 2020. Guitar Central. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate the tonecular complimentary comments. I'm old school. Tube Screamer and a rat is about all I need. Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that combo, can you? I like the Axe stuff because it has a really nice built-in gate, and it's just really noisy here, especially with these single coils. They're pretty ruthless. You can hear them a little bit. Well, actually, I can show you exactly how loud it is without the gate on it. The gate is kind of squishing the guitar tone. But that's what it would sound like in here without the gate. And then with the gate. So you can see why, like I said, just being honest, the Axe has literally the best gate I've ever heard. I don't know what they did, what they do, what they did own. I don't know any of that stuff, but it's a daggum good gate. So how is everybody doing? Love my 63 Strat and my 69. Dude, that is awesome. I wish I had a 69, but you know, I'm super content with this guitar right here, man. I love this thing so much. Starting to get some nicks and dings on it, unfortunately, but that's just when you have a bum like me playing you. That's what happens. Hello, Robert from Boston. Well, hello. Totally missed these. I know. Well, see, I originally wasn't going to go live today because my schedule was pretty hectic going up to NAMM. And I have not played any of the songs that I have to play on my 2 sets during NAMM, so I got to get on that. But I was like, man, I didn't get to go live last week. I didn't think I was going to get to go live at all this week. And then I was like, well, I can't go live next week because I'll be in Cali. And I was like, man, it'd be almost a month before I did another live stream. So I was like, I have to go live tonight. I don't know much Steel Panther, I'm afraid. Oh, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that, buddy. My MIM Fender Black Top. Ooh, yeah, baby. I remember there was this black MIM Strat back when I was teaching at a store, and I played it so much while I was just teaching. I just loved the Strat. Just sounded great, felt great. They finally told me, like, hey, you can't play this guitar anymore. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? They're like, you've worn flat spots in the frets. Like, we had to do a fret dressing on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just liked it. And like I said, when I needed a guitar, that was the one that I grabbed. Puppy. Oh, someone follows me on Instagram. That is, that was my son asked for that, and he said that he wanted to use all of his Christmas money towards a puppy. That was his one big thing. 'Cause we have a cat. I was like, man, because we've never been dog people. I had a dog when I was, a kid, and so did my wife, but we, have had dogs and then moved and had to get rid of them, so we just kind of never wanted to get a dog again. But, it was, he was like, I really want to, do it. I'm going to help take care of it and all this kind of stuff. And at first I was, really, really against still getting a dog. And Gabby was just like, you had a dog that was your best friend. I had a dog that was my best friend. And, he wants to do all this stuff. So he did. He put his Christmas money to the down payment for the dog. And now they're buddies for life. So that's just the way that goes. But, yeah, he's a great little dog. So I'm sure you'll see him in some kind of video at some point randomly. Was there any dislikes of your Fender Richie Kotzen Telecaster? No. To be honest, that guitar was amazing. The build quality was some of the best I'd seen. What it came down to is I'm trying not to turn into the person who has, 40 guitars and I play, 10 of them. I didn't want that to happen, and I kind of looked and I was like, okay, so I've got 3 Telecasters. I have one true Telecaster, and then I have these 2 other Telecasters that legitimately don't sound traditional at all. Like the Richie Kotzen with the rails didn't sound like a Telecaster, and obviously the Friedman with P90s doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't sound like a Tele either. They have their own sounds, and they're both very good. And I was like, well, for one, the Friedman is right up there with my Les Paul in terms of like how much I like it. Like I was looking at the frets, like I'm wearing the frets down because I play that guitar so much. And I was like, and I feel like I'll get more mileage out of the blue Tele because it is it's a traditional Tele. I'm like, I got to keep that. So it was just like a matter of process of elimination, and I was wanting to get this, and I was like, I'm gonna try to do that from now on, like get rid of something before I just keep adding to it, Happy New Year's. Hey, Pete. Sorry, I missed a super chat. Zev de Boomer. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate the super chat, man. That was very, very nice. First super chat of 2020. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get... I'm not a huge Strat fan at all. I'm happy with my thin neck Kramer BC Rich any day. Sure, a Strat is by all means... I think a Strat has a very, maybe even like polarizing sound. Like, you kind of like either hate it or you like it. If you don't like single coils, you will not like a Strat. Take all the best to 2020. Oh, thank you very much, Art. All the best to you as well, dude. Super chat above. Oh yeah, thank you, Big Red Tower. Sorry, I know the chat's a little bit delayed. Unless I missed another one, let me know. But I thought I got that one. My son, no, he hasn't really been playing too much. And also, if I miss anybody's questions, feel free to repost your question again. I don't mean to miss them. It's just my chat goes by pretty quick. Did my son earn the blue Tele? No, he hasn't earned it yet. Like I said, he kind of like wandered off a little bit from practicing and playing. So I feel like before you get a guitar like that, you have to earn it. I starting on a nice guitar, it's, I don't know. I just remember how much when I got my Strat. Like I started on a Samick, so a Strat knockoff essentially, and once I had played it for a few months, and my parents, did a co-signing thing for it basically, and I worked for my dad doing groundhog work, picking up the trash for his construction company, which is literally wheelbarrows of shingles and junk every single day for like 8 hours. I was like, I had to earn that first really good guitar, and I'm sure my parents didn't make me pay it all. I'm sure they helped pay more than what I actually know that they paid on it. But overall, like I still had to work really hard and mow lawns and stuff to get an American Strat. So I feel like if he wants that blue Tele, then that's totally fine. But he has to earn it. And the way we figured out how he could earn it is his guitar. We were putting stickers on the back every time he would practice. And like, you fill up the back of this guitar with stickers, man, I'll give you the Tele. I go, it's yours. But you got to earn it. What do you think about bare knuckle pups? To be honest, I've played maybe 3 sets, so I don't know if I have the greatest insight onto them, but I did not like them. I played the Mule. This is the only one I can remember off the top of my head, and it could have just been the guitar that I was playing it in, but I did not like it. What do you think of G&L guitars compared to actual Fenders? I haven't played enough G&Ls. I've only ever played, I think, 2. Or no, I played 3 G&Ls. There's so much fuzz and distortion on this tone. It's fun to play. Any Marshall rumors for NAMM? I don't. You know what? I honestly, as bad as this sounds, I don't think I ever care about the gear that's at at NAMM. 90% of the time, I don't bother going into like the Fender room or Marshall or any of those brands. I only went into Gibson last year. Were they back there? I went in there to see my buddy Jared. Whenever he came out with his signature Epiphone, I went to go see that. And that was the only reason I went upstairs. Like, I honestly, like, if you don't go upstairs to the second and third floor, like, right away in the morning, it's so busy, and escalators break every single year. And I'm like, nah. I just hang around and just visit with friends, and I just go to the companies that I work with, and I want to, like, just kind of chat with them and hang out. As bad as it sounds, like I honestly like almost look at no gear, even though I'm there. I might check something out with friends, but thoughts on stainless steel frets. I think they're great if you dig the feel of them. I stick with nickel. Let me turn this delay off here. That's going to mess with me, I can tell already. Alright, turn this up so I can actually see. Jared Signer's pretty sick. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, try one of those. That is an incredibly impressive guitar. Like, I think that Jared designed something awesome, and I'm hoping he comes out with a USA. More on the mic a little bit. Check. Man, that is all I can do. That is check. Here we go. Let me try to move the mic closer to my face. Having heart surgery Tuesday, but we'll be at NAMM to see you, dude. Scott, well, I hope that goes well, man. We'll all be thinking of you, buddy. And I'm glad you're still going to get to go to NAMM, dude. You have to tell me all the cool new gear you've probably got that I don't even know about yet. Matt Miller, is it worth to sell some guitars to get a vintage guitar? It depends, It depends on what a vintage guitar. I mean, it could be a vintage or custom shop. I have always sold guitars if I was not playing them to get a guitar that I would hopefully play more, And I think there's nothing wrong with selling a guitar. And I understand that some people are collectors and some people just don't want to get rid of guitars. But for me, I've never had an issue. Now, like I said, in this particular instance, yes, I think it's worth it because a pre-CBS Strat has literally always been my dream guitar. Of the two dream guitars, a burst year Les Paul, 58, 59, stuff like that, which will never happen. A pre-CBS Strat was actually obtainable. It just, like I said, had to sell stuff. What's up, fellas? Jackson! So I think it is. Like I said, I guess it just depends on what that guitar means to you in the long run, really, is what it all comes down to. It's like, have you ever cared about a vintage guitar? Because I know that this year, one of my goals is to get like an old Esquire or, an old Telly or something. Because one thing I really fell in love with this guitar is I loved the story aspect of it so much. Now, obviously, this was kind of like a 1 in a million situation that I would find the original owner and be able to do that stuff. But more of the like documentation side of these guitars, I'm like, dude, it would be cool to get, a Telly and just make videos and document the guitar and just kind of celebrate what the guitar is. And a lot of people don't understand vintage. They don't get it. I had someone, I don't remember who it was, message me. I think it was on Facebook. Like one of the rare instances I check my Facebook messages, but I posted something on my page, and he's like, I don't get it. Why would you get a vintage guitar, and modern guitars are so much better? And I'm like, sometimes better isn't better. If I'm being honest, is our guitars made better nowadays? Shoot, yeah. Guitars are made with graphite rods in them, and they're not even made out of wood anymore. They're made out of material that will never flex, never bend unless you want it to. So yeah, but just because it's better on paper doesn't mean that it's actually better. I mean, look at music nowadays. The way it's all auto-tuned and drum tempoed, and you just play the riff once and they just copy and paste it. It's like, technically that's better because there's no mistakes anymore. But there's a reason why you listen to Led Zeppelin, like I did the video about the Led Zeppelin mistakes. There's a reason why it's cool to hear John Bonham's squeaky bass pedal. To hear someone yelling in the background, stop, and I feel like the same thing goes with guitars. There's a reason why there's a certain magic to an old guitar that a lot of new guitars just don't have. It's hard to explain, but it's just kind of it's its own thing. So if vintage means nothing to you, 100% don't ever get a vintage guitar, because you'll probably get it and be disappointed. But if it means something to you, and you just love thinking about the story of a guitar and where it's been and where it's going to end up, and that kind of stuff, that is totally worth it. And I think that these old guitars should have a sound. So are you going to check out the new Rev G20? Tempted to pull the trigger. Oh, wait. Rev G20. I feel like I've heard of that amp somewhere. I don't remember where. I'm trying so hard to be quiet. The guitar is not loud, but slamming doors and all that stuff. Rev G20, you mean like this one? I have one of them. It is incredible. Like all that build up for me to not even take it out of the case. Oh man. So I have one, man. It is incredible. It's what Rev needed to do, for sure. And like I said, I full disclosure, I'm a Rev artist, and I'm extremely good friends with those guys. And I had spoken to them, like, obviously last week was like the launch of a lot of videos for it. But I didn't think I'd have time to do the video, so I just told him, I was like, I can't be part of the launch. I'll post it next week or the week after NAMM or whatever time I have time to get it done. But it is really, really good. Yep, it was everything that the D20 was missing. Can you have it? I wish I could have it. You know what's really funny though about it is I got the amp, and it sat here for a few days before I even had a chance to open it up, and I opened it and plugged it in, and who had this? Either Trey or Glenn had this one before me, and I turn it on and it sounded awful, absolutely terrible, and I turned because you have 6 different cabinets on it. So I'm like, oh my God, this sounds horrible. And then I turn it. I'm like, oh, the thing that knob was set to, the one that didn't have a IR loaded. So it was, if you've ever heard what an amp sounds like without a cabinet IR, it just sounds like a tin can. And then I switched to, like, I just turned the knob and it went to like a 412. I'm like, oh my God. It sounded so good. So I have to look at the email that Derek sent me, but I think these might be Glenn's cabs. I think Glenn was doing cab captures. So it might be his. And if they are, they sound really good. But I'm not sure where the amp has to go after I'm done with it. Put Floyd trims on. What do you think about using Kettner? I don't even know what that is. Latner amps. You know what I've played? I played some Hughes and Kettner stuff, and I like the guys over there, like Howard over at Hughes and Kettner. But I'm not a big fan of the amps, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I think I liked the Crunch channel on their amp, but the higher gain stuff I did not like. So on the Tone King last night, of course, man. So pumped up that TK got his 100K subscribes. I was telling him that I like the way those the new play buttons look. I have one of the old ones, so it's not as flashy and shiny as the new ones. So they did a good job kind of remodeling that. Glenn Fricker. So like I said, this amp, I believe Glenn Fricker and Trey from Gear Gods had the G20 that I have right here before me. And I think he loaded his cabinets in it. So they sounded good. I might load a different cabinet in there because they did sound very mid-focused. So I think it's a little bit more for metal than what I would typically use. But I'm also super lazy, so I might might just keep it the way that it is. Oh, man. Not a dual rec guy either. You know, that's why I liked Rev. You know, I have friends who like boogies. They're all about, Mesa, dual recs. And there was always just something I didn't like about them. And the Revs actually have a very kind of like Mesa-ish sound, like a Mesa and a 5150 kind of blended together, but it's still their own kind of unique voice. And basically the Rev was everything I wanted out of a, American distortion amp, even though it's Canadian. Maybe that's what I wanted. I wanted Canadian distortion. James, too tired for this shit, is gonna do age and head out. Peace, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thanks for tuning in at all. Thanks to all of you guys. Scott, I definitely prefer tubes. If you're asking if the Rev amp is tube or solid, say it's all tube, man. It is 100% a tube amp, and it has the 2 notes, cabinet simulation software built in it. So it's basically where I think the future of amps are all heading. We have things like the standalone. What's the Boss one called? Tube amp expander. The UA, the standalone 2-note stuff. I don't know any other companies who make it right now. But that's all like separate units. So now these things are going to be built into amps. And I guarantee you'll see essentially the market of amp companies all have something like this before too long. Nice mid-range. Yeah, I see a lot of it's kind of interesting because I see a lot of people complain that the Rev is too expensive. And it's kind of odd to me because while they are expensive, I don't know how much the G20 is. The D20 was like $1,200. So I'm assuming this one's probably close to that. And I'm like, $1,200 is a lot of money. But compared to what it does, I think it's a pretty dang good deal. Because there are literally single-channel tube amps out there that are $1,200 that don't do half the stuff that it does. So it's just, like I said, it's to each their own. No one's right or wrong. You don't have to like it. I've just seen some people be kind of nasty about it. And I'm like, why? My favorite pedal, honestly, it's the Digitech Freakout pedal. That has to be my absolute favorite pedal. If you don't know what that is, mine's not here right now, but it is the coolest pedal that has ever been created. Fender Mod Shop thoughts. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Sammy, are they $12.99? Is that what they are? Even at $12.99. Okay, so I think the D20 is $1,200, and then the G20 is $12.99. That's not bad at all. Look at like what's Pete Thorne's? The PT15. I think it's almost $3,000, and that is dang expensive. What does this thing weigh? Oh, it's not heavy at all. Look at this. This thing is not heavy at all. And I love Pete, but I've never got to play one of Pete's amps. I tried to get one, but I've heard that Sir is pretty tough to work with. I don't know, like, as far as literally working with them, but I'm saying, like, they don't work with many people. We live in a day when people want things to be as cheap as they can. Yeah, I think that's kind of the downfall of a lot of these real budget brands. I don't know. Is it a good or I don't know? Is it a good or bad thing? Because I guess you could think of it two different ways. Is with brands like Harley Benton and Joyo and they make $40 pedals and they make $200 guitars. And do you think it's good or bad for the guitar companies? Because in one hand, it's kind of like a similar situation where, like with Guitar Center existing. So like if Guitar Center didn't exist, there would be no, I guess other than Sweetwater, there wouldn't be this big retailer kind of keeping everyone's prices in check. And I mean that in a bad way. I just think that, there is some good that comes from having large retailers, just like small ones. But I almost wonder if the Harley Bentons and stuff kind of keep the market in check a little bit. Patrina! Patrina's checking out. Look, you've got Guitar Fever already. Looking at new guitars and all that stuff. How are you? Best guitar for under $500? I honestly don't know. Under $500. I don't, like I said, I'm not real sure, to be honest. There's so many different ones nowadays. I'll tell you the one I will never check out, though. I guess you should never say never. There's some brand. What are they called? Has anyone heard of the brand Glary? I think that's what they're called. Gary or Glary? I can't remember. The mic and camera shot is still messing up focus. Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do about this. Make sure I can not drop my guitar too. Let's make this all happen without dropping the guitar. What am I doing? I'm not a singer. Don't know how a mic stand works. There we go. I have this stuff wound so tight because this mic is so heavy. There we go. Firefly guitars. You know what? I had never heard of those. And someone just commented that I saw asking me about Firefly guitars. I'm like, I've never heard of them. Is that still messing with the autofocus? Here, let's try this. Let me know if this is okay, guys. Let me know if I stay in focus. So let me know if I'm in focus right now. It's a friendship that you can meet such a common. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I find it funny that so many people can find a way to be nasty in the guitar community. Whenever it's so, just such a positive vibe. Jackson D keys are 400. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I can't remember how much those new Jackson Crackle guitars were, but those looked really, really cool. Check out Guitar Max videos on Fireflies. Oh, okay. I sure will. So is Firefly kind of like a Harley Benton, essentially? Who did I see? Someone posted a video, like they got kicked out of a... actually, you know what? That's the first time I ever heard of that brand, Firefly. Because it was... Someone got kicked out of a Firefly group. I just remember a video about it. But it seems to bottom out right before it gets perfect. Ah, shoot. This thing... Well, maybe it'll work better now if I... So, let me know if it's still being funky Comedina. Mic grill is still in frame. Man, I don't know how to get it out of frame to where you can still hear me talk though. That's the problem I'm having right now. And I can't turn the volume up anymore. It's tapped out as well. So hopefully my voice is okay like this. Maybe I can do this. Is that gonna bring it in a little bit more? Okay. Whatever this is, I think this is as good as it gets. Carl, you have a fractal Axifex yet, Robert? Thank you for the super chat, dude. And yes, I have the fractal Axifex 2XL. So I think they came out with an XL Plus. That's right, it was Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum. Yep, that's right. I remember now. Oh, I didn't remember now. You guys told me. See, but Ice Storm, oh man, that's awful. It's been raining constantly here today. I really like Ryan's channel. If you guys haven't checked out 60 Cycle Hum, I enjoy his videos. I'm trying to think. I think I've ran into Ryan twice at Summer NAMM and Gearfest, and Ryan's a really, really good guy. He is the exact same person on camera, kind of that witty, sarcastic type, which is my favorite kind of person, because I feel like I'm extremely sarcastic. But it is, I like Ryan's stuff a lot. You know, talking with the vintage guitar star, but thank you very much, man. Yeah, you know, it's like I said, it's always to each. It's like a person playing an 8-string guitar. To me, I don't get it, you know, at all. It makes no sense to me. But I would never, you know, bash them and mean to be like hurtful to them. But but some people just feel that way. You have a great night. Thank you very much, Justin. Thanks for tuning in, dude. K-Man the drummer says, what's going on with the giveaway? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people ask me about this, so I've answered it in a couple different live streams and comments and all that kind of stuff. So the giveaway, if you guys did not see, I'm talking about the Black Strat giveaway. So if you did not see the kind of the follow-up video to my dream guitar, which is where I said we were giving away the Black Strat, you know, after I made that video, the original owner of the Strat got a hold of me. I talked to him. If you haven't seen my 63 Strat story video, which is the next video that came out after the dream guitar one, That one kind of goes through this amazing history that Jim gave me. And essentially, while Jim was on the phone with me talking and just all these different things were happening, I really felt like because he had to sell this guitar when he didn't want to, it was just a necessity. And I could 100% relate to that. I felt like I should give him the black Strat. And I did. And I sent it to him, and it was a surprise. And I have other pictures that I didn't post that I kept just for us, kind of thing. So I gave him that black Strat. But what I say in the video is I'm still going to buy another Strat and give it away as promised to people who commented on that other video. I will still give it away. Like the winner will be announced probably just, and I'm not going to make a video about it. It's going to be announced probably in the community section and over on Instagram. And by community, I mean on my YouTube page, the community tab. So if you want to get notifications like that, make sure you have the bell notification thing turned on. Who knows what you have to do nowadays to turn that on? But that's what I'm going to do. Now the issue with that is obviously we need to buy another one, and there's I have no problem buying the Strat. It's just I want to find like a good one when I have time. Like I don't want to just be like, oh, just what's the cheapest one, and click buy. So that is kind of where the giveaway is. It's still gonna happen. I always make sure to do that stuff. It's just been more about time and a lot of stuff going on, and obviously with NAMM, that is kind of what the focus is on right now. Best tone on YouTube, my brother. How did it sound? Oh, thank you very much, man. It's just a patch I made a long time ago on my Axe Effects. This one's a little bit different because I have a fuzz running on it. NAMM has band performances this year. I haven't heard that. I'm supposed to perform. So we'll have to see how that unfolds. I have not heard that yet. So that's news to me. There we go. Put that down right there. What do you say we go with Old Faithful? I'm trying to be quiet. Because like I said, the guitar's not loud, but the floors squeak, and they're sleeping downstairs with the puppy. See, now I do not like the fuzz sound on this one at all. It's too muddy. The Strat kind of takes away the mud a little bit. There we go. Do you bend your wrist when using a vibrato? I don't bend my wrist so much as I shake my wrist. So I always tell people it's kind of like if you grab a doorknob. So you can kind of see how I'm just rocking my wrist back and forth. And sometimes I do different kinds of vibrato. I'm trying to work on like that Clapton-y style, where your your thumbs off the guitar. I recently saw Doug Rappaport doing that a lot, other than Clapton, of course. And then when I jammed with my buddy Sam Colson, he was talking about doing that, and I was like, oh man, I need to like incorporate that. It has a cool sound to it. My favorite guitarist is Jimmy Page. I love Jimmy Page. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, Jimmy Page. Big influences. All different guitar players influence me in a lot of different ways. He was freaking awesome and bringing her out. Dude, I love this guitar. If you saw me on Instagram, like I said, I posted a picture. If you look, you can see where the finish is wearing off. In person, you can see like the lacquer is chipping away on it and stuff. But you can see where my hand sits on the guitar because, like I said, this is just a riff guitar. Like, I guarantee you. Let me turn the delay off. If I just like the second I plug this guitar in, as soon as I start playing it, there will be a riff. There is no like if, ands, or buts about it. I will like plug this guitar in, and it's just like, okay, let's write a riff, you know. It's not a lead guitar for me. It's definitely a rhythm one. Strictly alternate picking or economy or both? Yeah, it just depends on the situation, man. You know, a lot of times if I'm ascending, I typically alternate pick. So like that kind of stuff, I alternate pick everything. A lot of times when I'm descending is where I tend to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs, but I do a lot more economy picking. Or same with like, I did that Slash video. When I was talking about explaining how I picked that, you know, I do, what came naturally was I did economy style picking. So I went down, up, up the whole time because it keeps it the same. If you alternate pick something like that, literally every time you cycle that, your picking changes. So you can see how I go down, up, up. And I just, you know, take ideas like that if you want to get into some economy picking and just get to where it flows. You know, or do stuff like the... what's the name of the song? I can't think of what's that Zakk Wylde song or the Ozzy song. Jeez, I can't think of it. Anyways, whatever the song's called, the solo, the Miracle Man. Because that has you actually economy pick both directions, so it's down, down, up. And then you have to do 2 ups at the end. Then there's alternate picking. Oh, maybe. So, fractal stock. No, anytime I'm using the fractal, it's just tones that I've made. It's funny, earlier I was messing around. So one of the things I'm doing this year, there's actually 2 things I'm releasing, but one of them I won't talk about. But the other thing is I'm doing an 80s EP. So it's just, you know, all 80 style instrumental stuff. But it's not like necessarily super shreddy 80s. It's just 80s riffs with, you know, 80s solos. So there's definitely some like shreddy stuff, but it's not like Richie Kotzen 80s where he was just going crazy the entire time. So like when I was messing with this riff earlier, see if I can remember it. I wish I would have recorded it because I was playing unplugged downstairs. Can't remember it. I don't remember anymore. But I wish I would have recorded it. But I was just like, okay, I want to do like, just a bunch of 80s riffs where I can sit there and just be like. Oh, wait, wrong. That's what it was. Nope. Can't remember it anymore. Like I said, I remember bits and pieces of it, but it would just be fun, like fun, upbeat 80s. Like round and round mixed with pain. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, see, there it is. It's happening. I'm telling you, this guitar just has riff mojo in it. So I think I just had the idea the chords would change. So. Like I can kind of I can hear the melody. Down, down, down. Yeah. We'll leave it there for now, though. Hey, keen for that when it eventually releases in the year 2050. No, I'm definitely gonna do it because it's gonna coincide with something else that's coming out. But I'm really hoping to next month go to Nashville and do some stuff I've been planning for a very long time. Sorry, quick question. I always struggled with this. How do you keep the amp from sounding too muddy? Even with the bass turned all the way down, it still sounds like a blob. Well, a lot of it is going to be depend on your amp, man, to be honest. And I like to run amps with the treble pretty high. What I found as I kind of got better, not better, but like my ear got better at hearing at what I wanted it to sound like, what I found is I like the amp to be kind of like too bright, to be honest. And what I do is I roll my tone knobs down. So like right now when I'm playing this tone, my tone knobs roll down a little bit to darken it up, versus it being all the way up, which would be really bright. I set my tone bright. That way I think it's why I just use one main tone all the time, and I adjust the guitar to the tone versus like trying to find a different tone for each guitar. I just have one overall tone, and I adjust. I'm like, okay, it's like way too bright with this telly. Boom, roll the tone knob down a little bit, and there I'm like, okay, now the tone works. And I just kind of go. Probably out of laziness on my part, to be honest. So to get your tone brighter, man, have the treble up. I keep the treble pretty high, probably like 3 o'clock or something like that. Anyone feel like their original music they write is cheesy, or is that just me? No, I mean, most of the stuff I write is probably pretty cheesy. Jake's asking me what software I use. I use Logic Pro X, I think is what it's called. I haven't updated it in a long time. Well, actually, no. On this computer is the most up-to-date one. It's on my laptop, but I haven't updated it. I'll try that out. Thanks. Yeah, hopefully that helps, man. Breakthrough and wrote the greatest riff I've ever written. Dude, congratulations, man. All right. Les Paul along with you. Nice. Good, man. Get the Les Pauls out. Uh-oh, KB Barbecue. Let's see, do I remember the KB Barbecue riff? There it is. Look at that. Will I ever forget that riff? I don't know. Oh my god. Ninja Shmoo? Is that how I say that? A new member? I have not played the new member riff in so long. Do I remember it? I do remember it. Okay, new member. Welcome, Ninja Shmoo. Man, it's been a while. I'm rusty. That's the official new member riff. It's a little bit sloppy Joe, so I'm gonna apologize to Ninja for that. Thank you, Ninja. Yeah, starting once I get back these next live streams, if you're a channel member, you guys know this. I haven't been able to do it here for a little while, but there will be the pre-show before the live shows. So I usually, like I said, I haven't this year or the past month or so, but I usually go live 30 minutes before while I'm setting up, and anyone who's a member can tune in and we can chat about whatever. I shouldn't say set up. I usually have it set up. I'm just warming up. Some Slash or Page? Page. Who does he play for again? Oh, I've heard that name before. Led Zeppelin. Sure. What Page one do you want to? I can't. I went totally brain dead in the. Let me turn this distortion down a little bit to get a more of a Pagey tone. That high gain it's kind of killing those Page vibes for me. Oh my God! Krager, you done got yourself a new member riff coming at you as soon as I can. Oh, I hear the puppy squalling. If I can get this ready. This one goes out to Krager, the newest new member of all the new members. Thank you so much to both of you guys. Let me do it again to see if I can do it any cleaner. I don't remember whenever that ever became the new member riff, but it did, and it's a thing. And it will always be a thing. Yeah, pagey stuff. Can someone tell me, am I playing that right? Is that right? You out of here, Kenny? Thank you, dude. Oh, that's the other thing. Okay, Ninja and Krager, you guys get special emojis. Oh, snap. We need to come up with like the 2020 collection. Do new members get tabs? Oh, you know what? You should. I'll make that happen. New members should get tabs for the new member riff. My house down in South. Dude, the wind has been crazy. Night, Jake. Thank you for tuning in, dude. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, brother. System of Down. I don't know any System of Down, I'm afraid. Okay, Greg. He's got all the emojis. Bob Ross, Macho Man, Pow, the Pantene emoji. I forgot about that one. And the Golden Girls emoji. Does it get any better? Does it get any better? Emoji collection. Oops. All Hulk Hogan. There does need to be a Hulk Hogan one. And then one that just says, brother. James said, how do you stay motivated consistently to post on YouTube? What do you do when you don't have any ideas and don't feel like posting? You just become this YouTube robot. No, it's super hard, man. I've talked about a lot of this stuff before. You get burnout. What I do is I use a program called Wunderlist, and it is an organizer that I have on my phone. It's on all my computers, and basically it's kind of like like a songwriter who comes up with lyrics. I think of video ideas all the time. So whenever I think of one, I have a different folder for all this stuff. So I made all the folders and did all that stuff, and I originally I would text myself the stuff. So what my wife did to help out is she went through and put them all in like the different categories. Which is the different categories. It's all in one category. It just says all video ideas. So I'm looking at it right now, and I have 272 video ideas right now on here. It looks like Monday I have 3 videos planned. And then I have different categories like beginner video ideas. I have my Led Zeppelin videos. And I have one of my biggest goals I've ever done. Sorry, this is getting off topic. Is I have what's called the take a month off list. And I have 13 videos that I need to shoot. And I'll explain that here in a minute. Some of you guys have probably heard me talk about it before, and gonna sound a little bit whiny, but honestly, man, you just get into this habit where you start to think more and more about what could I do a video on? What, is that like worth coming up with? Or like, I always just try to like put myself in the shoes of like, is that something I would watch? And if it is, then I throw it down as a video idea. Or now with these Led Zeppelin ones, like I have a lot of Led Zeppelin video ideas, even though I have my own category for them. Oh yeah, I need to do that one. I just see. This is why I have to put them down because I forget them. But like I said, I have that list that once I get back from NAMM, I'm gonna work on making these 13 other videos that I have put called "Take a Month Off," because I want to have enough videos pre-shot to take a 1 full month off of not doing any videos at all. And the reason why that is because I've I always feel like I'm complaining when I talk about this, but I swear I'm not. In the like 8 or 9 years that I've done YouTube, I've never taken any time off ever. I've posted 3, 4, 5 videos a week, all 8, 9. I don't know how many videos I've posted, 1,000, 2,000 videos. But it's finally gotten to the point where I think mentally it's like worn on me pretty bad, and I can kind of like foresee it being an issue, and I just kind of want to like catch it ahead of time, and take some time to like recuperate. But the thing with YouTube is you can't stop posting. That's something super crucial, super important, and it's just the way that it is. Unless you have a huge channel. If you have a really big channel like it's like Paul Davids or Jared Dines or Rob Scallon, those guys have big enough numbers where they could probably post once a week and it would be fine, or once every 2 weeks, it'll be fine. If you have, and I'm not trying to like call my channel small in like a disrespectful way, but a smaller channel compared to theirs, like mine, you really need to post all the time. And you don't want to risk falling out of the YouTube algorithm. So it's like if you want to take a month off, you really need to like start backlogging videos. So even though I'll be gone for a month, I'll probably still just do the live streams. That way we're still connected. But I won't have to think about shooting videos. I won't have to think about editing videos. I won't have to think about learning riffs or researching stuff. All of that. Like I said, one month is what I think I need. Just some time to, catch my breath a little bit. So that's why that's there. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a little baby. My job is so hard. I'm not trying to do that at all. But, I think it finally caught up to me. I always wondered why these YouTubers took these big breaks, and I finally understand it. Have a great night. Hey, Corey, have a good night, man. You want a break? Yeah, everyone, needs a break. Yeah. Neil, well, you know what? I've always... How do you pronounce Neil's last name? I had always heard Neil Peart, but I hear a lot of people also say Neil Peart. So hopefully one of those is correct, because I don't mean any disrespect by not pronouncing it correctly. But of course, us losing him was... an incredible loss. Whether you're a drummer or not, just from a musician standpoint, what a legend to be gone. I don't know how to play Rush the best, so I don't want to kind of butcher it too bad, considering the situation. But yeah, all the best to his family and loved ones, and how how horrible that must be, So, all the best to them. Gotta take a break before breaking becomes a psych thing. Yeah, it really does. And, I've been super fortunate with that stuff. Like, I always try to just be open and talk about whatever. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't mind. But, I feel like I've been pretty fortunate. I've never had, any like big breakdowns, and I feel really bad for people who do. I think anytime that you're in a creative field, in any field, I shouldn't just limit it, but this just happens to be the field that I'm in, so I can speak on it more confidently. It's just very taxing, and then that's like I said, I think I can see it happening to me, and I'm just trying to have, like I said, enough foresight to be like, yeah, I need to like do something here, because mentally I'm just getting more and more exhausted, and it doesn't, it never gets any easier. What would a super strat cost? Big Red. Oh, sorry, you're talking to Big Red Tower. Where's Stacy's mom? Did I see Paul David Eugene's trick bag video? I didn't. Oh, I usually watch all of Paul's videos. Oh, wait, that's not Stacy's mom. That's Jesse's girl. Sorry. I haven't played anyways, but... Ever thought about cutting my hair short? Nah, not really. Throw it in a ponytail. Basically short hair. Take a break, totally understand. Yeah, thank you, man. Carl Ingsham. Oh, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, please don't ever think I never... At least I hope I've never asked for a super chat. I've never, done any of that. So I hope that you guys don't feel pressure to ever do that stuff. But thank you very much, man. I truly do appreciate it. Ratman! How's it go? Don't remember it. Bro, your hair are so beautiful, and how did you make it so wavy? It's funny, my hair is unintentionally wavy today. I actually have pretty straight hair, but it was raining a lot, and I was in and out of the car running around doing different stuff, and my hair got wet, and then it dried, and it got wet again, and dried, and it got wet. So it dried like this, and I was like, well, this is just what I have today. So Roger says, Rob, I have to thank you because of you and your gold top Les Paul with P90s. I got an Epiphone with P90s, and I'm so digging the P90 sound right now. Thanks again, brother. Dude, it's so good, man. P90s, they're incredible. Don't ask anyone for anything. I think people donate because they want to. Well, I appreciate that. Time and effort you spend on it. But well, thank you very much, dude. Oh, sorry, that was someone else. I just took someone else's compliment. Thank you. Kick some butt at Nam. Rooting for you. Thank you very much, Barry. Can you play Black Betty from Ram Jam? Ooh, I can. And you know what? I think in lieu of the recent comment... Oh, you know what? I can't even... I don't even know if I can get to it. Yeah, I'm going to try. I got all the camera here. Oh god, the guitar is so heavy. Oh my god, this one's just heavy. Oh, there goes my pick. Okay, here we go. Can't wait to watch everyone's NAMM videos. Yeah, man, I love it. You know what? I never make a NAMM video, but I love watching everyone else's. I used to, you know, I think I made one NAMM video 1 year, maybe 2 years, and I stopped because, you know, I would lug cameras around and do all that stuff, and I was so focused on making a video, I was just kind of like, you know what, just like, if I decide to do it at all, I shoot quick stuff with my cell phone, and which is now older than dirt. God, it's like a iPhone 6. What are they on, like 20 now? But I was so worried about setting up cameras and tripods. I was like, I'm not even hanging out with the people that I want to hang out with. I'm so focused on doing this other stuff. I just finally, you know, I was like, you know what? I'm not even doing the NAMM videos anymore. I just want to. I'll go here and experience it, you know. And I ended up feeling way better about it. So I stopped doing NAMM videos, and you have to have like so much respect for someone like Henning, who runs around doing all those videos. Henning is literally running around the NAMM show doing videos. My buddy TK, he's doing the same thing. 60 Cycle Hum, those guys are like seriously working their butts off during these events. Like, I don't know if anyone, unless you're there seeing them do this stuff, like I said, you will literally not see Henning walk. He's like speed walking, jogging, getting somewhere. I mean, those guys work so hard during those events. Sorry. How's it go? Do 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 do. That's what it is. Did you see Fluff's video about Tom Morello? I started it. I haven't finished that one yet. I haven't had time to finish the video. Play your favorite guitar lick or riff. I don't know what my favorite one would be. Just enjoy the show. Yeah, you know, it's it might be weird, and maybe it's just, you know, as I get older, I seem to catch myself doing that more. Not as worried about catching stuff on camera, you know, video, and doing all that kind of stuff. Just kind of like trying to be more in the moment. Something I've definitely put effort into, because you get caught up in it all really, really fast. You know, it's easy to get caught up into, I got to record this, got to do, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure I've missed great opportunities and all that. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? Just roll with it, you know, just experience. Opinion on Fender amps. I don't have much experience with Fender amps, if I'm being honest. I've always been, you know, Marshall higher gain kind of guy. I like a higher gain amp that sounds good at lower gain. Like I like the rev stuff. Like I don't necessarily use them to their full gainier potential, but Fender amps I don't have much experience with. I've never, you know what? I've owned one. It was like one of my first amps a long, long time ago, but it wasn't a good one. Matthew, what year is my gold top? So this is an 89. This is my this is a special guitar to me because this is my it's a birth year guitar. So I am also from '89. I'm a little bit older than this thing. I don't look anywhere near as cool, but I think I'm 3 months older. I believe this one, I can't tell just by looking at it. I would need to Google it. But I think this guitar's birthday is in September. Or if you could be the guitarist for any band, past or present, who would it be? I don't know. Honestly. A super famous band that never had to tour. Or tour, however you want to pronounce it. That's who I would be. Can modern P90s hold up against vintage, or is it only vintage P90s? Get out. No, I think they sound great. The P90s that are in my vintage T, I think are some of the best. And those are literally Friedman P90s. This guitar originally, I still have the original P100s that came in the guitar, but when I got the guitar, it had Duncan Antiquities in here, and I did not like the Antiquity bridge. I took it out and replaced it with a Friedman Classic P90 bridge, but I like the Antiquity neck a lot, so I left the neck pickup in here, which is super hot. I mean, listen to how hot this. So here's the distortion on the bridge. Yeah, I like P90s because it makes if you want more distortion, you dig in more. But if I go to the neck, you can hear how much more distortion there is. And I have the neck wound pretty low, so. But they just work well together for some reason. You're not old. There we go. A little bit more distortion on here. Billy, what's up on that Billy Gibbons? Yeah, I need to finish making that. Any of those more like history-based videos take a long time to make because I just have to research them. But that's definitely like high on the priority list once I get back from NAMM. Paul Kossoff? Ooh, love me some Paul Kossoff. How's it go? Not a mean riff. Every single day, coming my way. God, Paul Rogers, incredible voice on top of Paul's riffs. Look at the tears in my eyes. Oh, no, here's one of the coolest things about it. This chord, it goes fire and water. That chord there's so good. Fire and water. What's the matter? What's the matter? How's it? What's the matter? Classic Kossoff A. God, it's just attitude, you know? Just such a rockin' riff. That it's so like slanky. God, it's just so good. And it's so simple, you know? Just I always say if you want it to sound aggressive, play aggressive. Do you have a woman, dude? I have a wife. I do. Look at that right there. Evidento. Nearly 9 years. Woman. Look. Oh no, sorry, I have to go like this. Can't remember how it goes. Another, again, Paul Kossoff, man. How cool, what a cool solo. I've never been able to get, he throws in vibrato in like this millisecond of time. And I don't know how he does it. It's right, listen to the song and you'll hear what I'm talking about. I can never get it right. Imagine Dragons. I don't think I know any of their stuff. I definitely taught their stuff when I used to teach lessons. I'm waking up, how's it go? I'm waking enough to make my systems grow. Welcome to the new age. I remember teaching that song a bunch. I'm working up. How come you don't do a lot of collabs with Adam's asking, how come I don't do a lot of collabs with other YouTubers? I don't have any issues doing collabs with anyone. My biggest thing is I don't necessarily enjoy collabs that are not in person. I enjoy seeing the chemistry of two people together, like the video. If you haven't seen it yet, I posted it on the community section here that I did with Sam Colson. I love that vibe so much to videos, and like I said, I'm not opposed to doing a collab with other YouTubers. And I think this is kind of going back to what I said something earlier, is I've learned something, very important after all these years of doing all this stuff, and it just I have an extreme value of time. So sometimes when I get offered collabs, I just don't have the time to do it, and I'm not trying to be a jerk by telling people no. This is something I was talking to Tim Pierce about. I was like, I said, it seems like I just say no to everything nowadays, but it's just because I value the time side of it so heavily, regardless if it's like something that's being paid or whatever it is, I still say no because I'm just kind of like, that's going to take too much time, and it's like, where do I take the time from? Because I can't take it from YouTube. Do I take it from practicing, trying to get better? Do I take it from working on my next guitar course, or do I take it from family time? And to me, none of those are options. So a lot of the times, excuses. And so that's why a lot of times I turn down a lot of stuff. So it's just like I said, I hold time so valuable now that I'm just like, what's the even like going to NAMM next week. I was talking to Gabby and to Greg and just some of our friends. I go, and like I said, Derek at Rev, I said, I'm probably not going to go to NAMM next year. Sam, yeah, Sam, let's do a collab, Sam. But, I told him, I don't think I'm going to go to NAMM next year. I think this will be my 7th NAMM or 8th NAMM, whatever. They all they all blend together at this point. I don't even remember. But I was just kind of thinking, like, to go out there for a week, I was like, what could I do with that time? Because while it's fun and I love getting to see everyone, I'm kind of like, copy Ola and make everyone come to you. I'm always open for people to come here. I just live, kind of like in a very inconvenient area, unfortunately. But so like I said, I was just kind of thinking, I was like, I think I'm gonna skip NAMM next year. I really love Summer NAMM, so I'll probably always go to Summer NAMM. But odds are I won't be at next Winter NAMM. And it's just kind of like, I was like, man, with all that time that I'm gone, not that it always has to be about work, but I'm like I said, how I want to take that month off. I'm like, I bet I could get, 8, 9 videos done in that time. So, we'll just see how it comes. Time with your kid is the most important, bro. You can't get back. Exactly. That's the thing, so I can't sacrifice that time to give it to something else. So, I just have to like look at the big picture of stuff. I don't know the intro to that one. I've learned it like 1,000 different times. Is that how he does it? I don't remember how it goes. Down. I don't know what he does there either. That's so mean. 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, well, and that's why I started doing the live streams like late at night like this, instead of like I used to do them on Fridays. Barry, I am playing at NAMM. I'm playing at Vola on Thursday at 1, I think, and on Saturday. So I'm that's the only 2 times I'm playing this year. There were like I said again, the whole saying no thing. Last year I played at NAMM every single day, multiple times. And I was offered a lot of different stuff this year. I was like, honestly, I'll play at Vola, and that's it. Again, like I said, I feel like I'm being a jerk when I do that stuff. I'm just like, no, I want to be able to like enjoy the show while I'm there and not worry about, oh shoot, it's 2:00. I gotta go get warmed up because I gotta play at 2:30. I gotta even remember where the booth is, that kind of stuff. But I lost my train of thought. Sorry. You played Perna wrong, and your 10 riffs played wrong? Did I play it wrong? I had someone pointed out to me that they play it wrong, and I told them, because they were saying that it's played like this. They said he doesn't go back to that note. And I was like, I'm telling you, if you listen to Paranoid, play it at half speed, because YouTube, you can slow it down. I forget who it was commenting. It said you play it like this. And it's taught that way a lot on YouTube. I'm like, but go listen to it at half speed, and I guarantee you hear Tony Iommi go like this. There you go. But yeah, and I saw people commenting saying I was wrong. I'm telling you, listen to it, and they would respond later like, I did go listen to it at half speed. Like, he's totally hitting that B note. I'm like, I told you, I told you he's hitting that B note. Now maybe he is playing it down here. In the videos I saw, Tony played it up here, but maybe he could be down here. But he 100% hits that B note in there. And I saw so many videos people going like that, and I'm like, that never sounds right. And I think I even played it that way originally in one of my old videos. But and that when I finally like listened to it, I was like, no, he's definitely not hitting that E note. He's going back to that B. Sorry, one moment. Do you know... Oh my god. Is there 423 people on here right now? That can't be right. Can someone tell me that's right? That's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm not in tune for it. So I guess technically I'm wrong. What is it? He's a half step down? Technically it's a B flat. Billy Strings and Molly Tyler play any acoustic test. I don't know who those are, I'm afraid. Lost finger down. Yeah, no, he had to tune down. $423. 420. Look at you guys. Tuned to 440. Oh, God, I thought you guys were telling me to tune. You're telling me how many people are here. That's amazing that I forgot that quickly that I asked you guys that. Thank you very much. That's crazy. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to me playing guitar crappily at 1:30 in the morning. Late night guitar class about well, and see that's the other thing. So like I said with the NAMM trip. So February, some of you guys already know about this, but you know since I quit teaching Skype lessons, I guess it was about a year ago. Now I just kind of had to back to the time thing, and I still get literally, and I swear I'm not trying to over exaggerate or be dumb, but probably 15 emails a week from people asking about Skype lessons, and I'm always just kind of like, man, it's something obviously that a lot of people want, but I didn't know what to do. So I'm starting these class things that I've talked about on here for probably 3 or 4 months now, where basically it's going to be a similar format to this. I might switch streaming services so I can have different camera angles, but it's going to be a live class style, and I think I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to try it with 20 people, but there'll probably be 40 people, so I found that that's very manageable as far as questions and stuff like that go. And it's going to be a live thing, so there's going to be a topic at hand, so you'll know ahead of time what the topic is. Like, hey, we're talking about creating new pentatonic patterns, and the whole lecture or whatever you want to call it will be on that. And it'll be for an hour long, and it can be basically like a Skype lesson, but there will be a group of people, but you can ask me stuff in real time. Kenny, the Les Paul is dreamy. Thank you, dude. I really love this guitar, I feel a special connection with it. Not in the same way that necessarily the KM and me connect, but it has its own thing. I love... This just goes back to older guitars. I forget. Sorry, I meant to ask, someone asked earlier, when is a guitar considered vintage? And look, I have this stupid stool. I forgot to put my better chair in here, but it's so noisy to move it, so I'm just stuck on this uncomfortable thing. But anyways, someone's asking, what makes a guitar vintage? And as far as I know, unless it's changed, in order for a store to consider something vintage, which usually just means that they can have a shorter return policy window, I think it just needs to be 20 years old. So what's crazy is, guitars from the 90s, like if you had a 1990 guitar, well, that's considered vintage. You could go all the way back to a 99 guitar, probably a 2000, depending on what month it was made, could be considered vintage. And that seems crazy to me to think like a guitar made in the year 2000 is considered vintage now. Kenny, oh yeah, I'm playing all originals at NAMM. So I have a bunch of them. If you missed it later this year, I'm going to release like a 4 or 5 song 80s EP that I'll make myself. And I have, like I said, I have lots of songs, believe it or not. I've used them in bunches of videos. The one that I'm starting with at NAMM is the... chords I use. Yeah. And then it goes back into the and I'll be like, are you guys ready? Then big solo time. Oh, hold on. See, I haven't practiced this, so I need to definitely relearn this stuff. I don't remember the lick. Can't remember it. That fast lick, I definitely have to practice that a lot. There we go. It's kind of coming back, but yeah. So that one's always really, really fun. One of my favorite songs I ever wrote was I don't remember what the song's called, but it just starts off the. Anybody who has the EP or OG channel viewers have probably heard this song too much. It's a vintage lick. don't remember the lick anymore. This is why I need to practice all this stuff before Wednesday. Something, and then what are your guilty pleasure songs? I don't think I have any guilty pleasure songs. You know, I've always been pretty open about anything that has like rhythm and groove to it. I guarantee you I'll like it. Like my son is really into what's like the Marshmello, and like, you know, he listens to a lot of his music, and it's totally opposite of what I like to listen to. You know, like there's really no guitar, and there's guitar in one song, but I still love it's like it's still really interesting to listen to and dissect. And then there's another one called, what's this YouTube channel I listen to? It's all like electronic. This other channel, what's it called? New Retro Wave, which is, like I said, not guitar-y at all, but I just like to hear that stuff sometimes just to have a different sound. Do you remember? You guys remember? Yeah, so there's that one. I can't remember the other song that I'm playing. What is the song? Did that one? The other one starts out. I can't remember this lick. Then it goes to the solo section. It has all the chordiness to it. Key change in there, goes to the 4, but over top of all that stuff, I go. How'd it go? And it goes back to that riff, and then it all stops. It goes back to that Flintstones. Yep. Can't remember that last part, but basically once it goes down to the fourth, I come in. I don't remember the solo anymore. How's it go? Yeah. And he goes down. Which, you know, that'll all need to be worked on and practiced. Hopefully. A lot of times I don't even get to play the songs. I'm like in the hotel room like the night before. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know the song anymore. Do you get rhythms? There's something... the P90s also. Yeah, for sure, man. They're very clean and crisp. Killer Fitch, thank you, man. That one has some of my favorite riffs in it. The one song which I don't have my wah pedal, so I can't play it. But I had another one that I did. I think for the Friedman wah. I think that was the demo, and I always really liked the wah sound of that video. Can't remember the riff anymore, but Flintstones are hard rock, exactly. Improving slide technique. Do you mean like literally like physically like a slide guitar technique, or just sliding around? You know what you could do is, and this is something I would give students. Sam might remember this. This whole thing is, you know, I would have people just slide through the pentatonic scale. I'd just be like. It just helps you like learn how to target notes, because sliding is all about where you're gonna end up. It literally doesn't matter where you start. Like if I want to end, if I'm playing some kind of riff. Who even knows where I started that slide at? But I know where I wanted to end. I wanted to end on an A note, so I just like each one of those is probably like literally on a different fret. It doesn't matter, because all that matters is what you heard at the end, which was the root note. And this is where a lot of times I would show people. I called it like fake outlining chords, and I'm gonna do a whole course on this. No, I'm not on this, but a lot of times, you know, I'm not a jazz guitar player. I don't know all these crazy chords that are happening, but to get a kind of an out sound, and still to utilize the pentatonic knowledge that I you know, use all the time, what I started doing was I call it the in out kind of style. So like if you're playing something and they would like whatever the riff is. That's not a good example because the chords aren't very long, but whatever it would be, I would basically just kind of like do this. So essentially, if you take your pentatonic box, any of the five, all I'm doing is kind of just playing the notes that aren't supposed to be there, but they're always sandwiched between two in-key notes. So what I mean by that is, if you look at what I just played, the notes from strictly, you know, pentatonic, you know, and there's some blues notes in here and stuff like that, but just think 5-note pentatonic scale. The notes that I'm playing are going in, out, in, out, in, out. I'm sorry, in, out, and I just walk through the scale like that. And you do it through any pentatonic block. And it sounds really odd, like you can't do it forever because it's a very out-sounding idea. But it sounds cool to like throw it in stuff, because if I'm just doing like a normal solo. like to throw that in there because it just like it'll tweak your ears for a second to be like, what was that? Yeah, like it sounds typical like rock. Or there's like so there's a lot of different variations of utilizing these kind of out notes. Obviously, doing A little bit easier to make more space. So again, it's the same concept. I'm literally just playing my pentatonic boxes, and it's not a sound that you can just run for hours. But you can kind of like superimpose it in a chord. So to me, that's kind of like a dominant 7 sound right there with that. If you really look at what I'm doing, that's what it would be. So let's make my fingers go pink. I'm going to try slimmer gauge next strings. Yeah, man, try it. I don't think there is a right or wrong gauge. Some people, you don't have to play heavy gauge to prove anything or any of that. How about learning? Best time to play the wrong note. Exactly. In my case, it's all the time. Please play it. I don't have the piano set up right now. I have certain guitars that I need to set up. One thing you'll find out about Ohio is how fickle the weather is, and it's hard on some guitars and not on others. Actually, I'd say it's hard on most guitars. There are very few guitars that don't move. Like even the Les Paul, this Les Paul neck moves quite a bit. The KM has never moved. I've never put an Allen wrench, like the truss rod adjuster. It's never been adjusted. For me, anyways. Maybe someone who's worked on it that I don't know about has, but I've never touched that truss rod. It's a good time to master puppets. Yeah, for sure. Part into Sunday morning from Germany. Hello, Morgan. Germany's awesome. Neck bends are handy on an SG, right? Ask Sam. Where's Sam at? Another little chromatic thing that I learned a long time ago was from Jeff Loomis, and I don't remember the exact lick anymore. So it's from a song. It's a Nevermore song. Unfortunately, Nevermore is no longer a band, but I believe it was called Plains of Oblivion, and he had this really cool sweeping section, and I can only remember a little bit of it, but he walked down a lot of chromatic stuff, and Jeff does this all the time, and it's so cool. He's such an amazing player. But then he did. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. But of course, Jeff is incredible and is playing it, without missing a beat. But it was such a cool idea the way he walked that down. Can't do it. Tant dit. At least not on that guitar. Have you heard of Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown? Oh, dude, I love Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. Yep. One of my favorite bands that I discovered last year. Man, that wind is crazy outside. If the stream suddenly ends, it's the wind. The internet went out. Yeah, I'm just not, my hands are not warmed up for that. Wolverine! Where you been? Wind's kicking there too? Yeah, was raining all day and then it's all windy. Better be nice for like 10 days in a row. Did I ever hear Troy Stetna? Of course, yeah. I have one of his books, Speed Mechanics. Is that what it was? I learned a lot from that book. I can't remember the exact name. I think it was Speed Mechanics, but same crazy winds in Cleveland. Yeah, it's going wild. Oh, you came through your neck of the woods? Hopefully, it's just over and done quick. Let me look at the weather. Curious what it's supposed to do. I was looking at the weather, and randomly my weather app had me looking at Fredericktown. I'm like, why? What happened in here that you got shifted to Fredericktown? Yeah, it's looking like a few more hours of wind, but then it's supposed to chill a little bit. Oh man, I don't know if anybody on here listens to the band Revolution Saints. It's with Jack Blades, Doug Aldrich, and Dean Castronovo. But there's this solo on the song that's called I think it's Can't Stop Time. I think that's the name of it. But anyways, Doug has this crazy solo in like every song. But there's this one part I was like, it almost sounds like he's using a whammy bar. I go, that's Doug's always playing Les Pauls nowadays. But luckily in the music video, he does what he does, and it's really crazy. He like hit a harmonic, and he pushes the string back behind the nut. And he goes, I don't want to do it because I'm gonna mess up the nut. But he did this crazy, and he like pushed the string down, kind of like a Randy Rhoads thing. But it just sounded different than what I had heard before. I'm like, dang, that is so cool. I wish that I like had the guts to do a lot of that behind the nut stuff on there, but it's rough on your guitar, and I don't have a guitar tech or someone like that to fix my guitars for me. Even you, Robert of the Riffs. there's a new riff. Yeah, baby. Woo! Damn, bow. Wolverine. Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'm excited for the new album. You know, I'm excited that Dean is doing good. But I mean, I think they're pretty busy with the Dead Daisies right now. About them Ravens. I have a buddy who's a really big Ravens fan. I don't watch football or anything anymore, but I see him posting about them all the time. I know they broke the rushing record, didn't they? You out here, Kenny? Thank you, dude, so much, man. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, dude. Might have said it already. Ever regret selling a guitar or a piece of equipment? Sorry, the chat started moving. Yeah, for sure. There's one main guitar that I really regret selling, and that was basically, I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about it, Preston, but basically my first real guitar was an American Strat, and I started on a Samet guitar, but I a few months later, you know, I worked for my dad for his construction company when I was like 14 or 15, however old I was, and I saved up and got this American Strat. It was a 2003 or 2002, I can't remember now, but it was a tobacco burst, you know, 3-tone tobacco burst, rosewood fingerboard Strat, and I got it. But whenever we had my son, I ended up, what happened? I remember when I sold it. I left my job at Sam's Club to pursue teaching full-time in YouTube. And essentially what happened that I didn't know was going to happen is during the summer, if you teach at a store, you basically lose like half of your students because a lot of people quit taking lessons because they're off doing other stuff. Well, I lost like half my lessons, and my son had this really weird milk allergy. So like he couldn't use normal formula, and he couldn't use soy, and he couldn't even use like the other stuff. We had to get this like super expensive. I've talked about all this stuff before, but this really expensive formula for him. And I just remember, like, you know, if you've ever had to buy baby formula, it comes in this huge can for like, you know, $22. Who knows how expensive it is now? This was 8 years ago. But, you know, you get this huge can. Well, our formula was 45, basically like $46. And it came in this tiny little can. So it was like we had to buy 2 cans to get the same size as one of the big ones. So it was, you know, as he got bigger, we were just going through so much formula. It was so expensive. And I remember it just got to the point I sold my Ibanez Prestige. I had an RGA Prestige, and I sold that one. I sold my Nuno Betancourt guitar. I sold the Strat. And what else did I sell? I sold pretty much everything. You know, I was down to basically one guitar. My wife sold her Ibanez, and we kept her. Her Strat is the only guitar that we have. Her tobacco burst one. If you saw a picture I posted today, the maple one. Didn't say happy early, almost birthday. But that's the only one we still have left. So basically, that's the main guitar I regret ever selling was that one. And I've tried to track it down nowadays, and I just can't. But that was a reissue of a 62. That'd be funny if it was, wasn't it? No, I think it was like an anniversary Strat, whatever it was. But it was from the year before, so I remember the music store had it priced down a little bit. Families for the second, of course, yeah, and see that's the thing. So, I'd sew everything right now if I had to. You know, as much as I love guitar and all that kind of stuff, they always come first. So yeah, that's the guitar I regret selling. And I've tried and searched on Craigslist, eBay, Reverb, Facebook Marketplace, even going back to the store, like, hey, if this guitar ever shows up again, it's just never resurfaced. One day I hope I get to have it again, but it's not like, it is what it is, with the guitar. I hope it's somewhere getting played. Some tips on playing long extended jam band style jams. That's always tough, because you get to where you want to repeat yourself. But I think with that one, it's kind of a similar advice that I give a lot of stuff is play rhythmically, because you'll run out of licks after so long. But you can, as long as you're very rhythmically diverse, like, you're well versed in other styles and all that kind of stuff, you can add a lot of like different rhythmic textures to something, and it can come across as more impressive actually than having lots of licks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see whose birthday is it, or whose birthday is it almost. It's my birthday in 8 days, hoping I get better at guitar solos and scales. Well, TJ, happy early birthday. I said it a minute ago, but I wanted to make sure exactly who it was. And dude, just practice it up, dude, and you are gonna get it. And of course, now I have to play you this with the volume on. Sorry, that was not the best version of it, but it's what we got. It's the best version you're getting at 2 a.m. 78, I got it from my grandpa. Ooh, that's awesome, man. Almost 500 people. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is the most people who have ever been on a live stream. Ever. Can we get it to 500? But as soon as I say that, it'll drop down to like 10. The journey to 500. I'm not going to stop playing this lick until we have 500 people. Do it. Do it. Click on the message to display it. Oh, how do I do that? Click on the message. I'm clicking on it. Can you guys see it? Let me know if you guys, can you see the messages that I'm clicking on? Be cool if you could. No, I don't think you can. That would be sweet. Thing. The full beard thing with Dave Grohl. Nice. I wish I look like Dave Grohl. Nope. Yeah, I think it's the I'm using OBS. I'm gonna change 503. Yo, we did it. Just at 503. That's incredible. That's wild. I almost feel like there has to be a glitch. Like there has to be something wrong. Down, down, down. It's kind of a catchy riff. Down, down, round, down. Yeah. There's the riff. Who should that riff be about? It's about Great Vanzini. This riff is called Great Van Riffy. Great Vanzini. Great Van Riffy. That's the name of that riff right there. The Kinks. That many people. 4 and counting. That's crazy. Oh, look, we dropped back behind. I think it's because I started singing. It happens. The riff should be about the mailman. Well, I've been working all day, delivering them letters. All you people don't put the stamps on the right place. It ain't that hard. Just stamp it real good. I don't know enough about the post office to make a song about it. So TJ, about your course, he doesn't have any local instructors. Sure, yeah, and anyone who wants my course. Sorry, I'm bad at plugging stuff. Like I said, TJ or anyone who's interested in it, I have my it's like a beginner style guitar course called the Rock and Roll Boot Camp. It's not geared towards absolute beginners, but if you have your basic chords under your fingers, there should be a link in the description. It's still 45% off. Basically, this is the last time this course is going to be available until probably June or July. So anyone who wants it, it is available until tomorrow night. Then I deactivate all of the discount links and all that stuff. And then, like I said, it will be available again, but not until June. And I don't know if it'll be the same price. It might be a little bit more expensive, but basically it's like if you want to be a rock guitar player, really is what it was. To me, I just tried to make the 504 viewers, Davey 504 collab convert. I'd love to do a video with Davey 504, but he has no clue who I am. But what was I saying? It's all gone. It's getting late. My mind's just melted. Nope, it's gone. Can someone remind me what I was talking about? Because I don't remember. Zeppelin Halen, is it okay? We saw it. 504. There's proof. You guys believe me, right? I literally did forget what I was talking about. Sam ruined everything. Talking about David 504. Lessons. Oh yeah, sorry. I was talking about the guitar course. So that's available in the description. I think I put a link in there. Knowing me, I probably forgot. But I do have, it's the first beginner course I've ever done. I've done a lot of other courses, but this is the first one geared towards beginner guitarists. And like I said, my whole concept was, I was like, after I started learning guitar, what is the stuff that I wanted to learn? Like I said, after I had learned it and did all these stupid roundabout ways of getting to what I wanted to know, I'm like, this is what I wanted to know. Why didn't the books teach me this? So that's pretty much what I tried to make the course about. So it's like I said, it's 100% geared towards being a rock guitar player. I'm working on the part 2, which is going to be more intermediate, and a theory course. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff that will be out at some point. I'm hoping to release 2 courses this year, but to be honest, I'll be lucky if I get 1 done. It's one. Is it one initial payment or a weekly? Nope, it's one-time payment, and you get access to it. Access. My English speaking skills are minimal at best, but my pentatonic skills are a level 5 out of 5,000. But no, it's a one-time payment, man. I think, how much is it? It's 45% off. I think it makes it $44. It's either that or it's 44% off, $45. It's very close to that. I'm a bad salesman, but it is, like I said, it's a one-time dealio that, like I said, it'll be gone until June. My other 8-course bundle will be on sale again in a few months. And then I'm hoping to have this new course done, which is not related to any of these. It's its own standalone course, and then hopefully near the end of the year, kind of near Black Friday, I hope to have the Rock and Roll Boot Camp Part 2. But this other course I've been working on, I think people will really like it, and it's different. I don't know anyone else who has a course on this topic. This exact kind of like niche kind of topic. So we'll have to see. Fender or Gibson? Oh, I like them both, man. It's never this one or that one. It's always this one for that or that one for this. You and Jump 5 collaboration. Oh my god. Could never collaborate with him. Not even like remotely good enough to play with John 5. Years trying to do my own, but when twice as long trying to host, it's much better to just pick someone and learn from and stay laser focused. Yeah, like I said, it's easy. What I recommend with YouTube or even like private lessons, I always tell people, if you can, take lessons in person. It's a really good thing. Starting next month, I'm launching these live guitar classes that I'll be offering. Right now, the plan is once a month. You'll be able to get like a ticket to this thing, and it'll be limited to probably 40 people is the maximum that I want to do. We'll see how that goes, whether I do more or less. But I always tell people, because there's so many people teaching on YouTube, there's a million people teaching you how to do a million things a million different ways. And it's just find someone who resonates with you. Like, there are, like I said, thousands of great teachers out there. But just because they're a great teacher doesn't mean they're a great teacher for me, for example. So there's some guys who are phenomenal players, and the teaching style just doesn't work for me at all when I try to learn something from them. But then there are other guys, like I think Brett Papa, for example, on YouTube. I think he's a great teacher. He's a very fun teacher. Like, I enjoy 100% learning his stuff. Like, whenever he posts a lesson, they're usually like easy to digest, even when he has other people. I like that when Brett has other people on his channel, he controls the lesson 100%. And what I mean by that is, if they get going too fast, he's like, whoa, hold on. Slow that down, play that again. And it's just because Brett is a very good teacher, so he probably subconsciously realizes, like, hey, hold on, you're doing that too fast. Like, slow that down, play that again. And he'll tell people, like, hey, you gotta play it again. So I think like someone like him, a great teacher, some people, I see comments like, you go to comments about me who would be like, oh, I love the way you teach. I love like the tempo and rhythm of your lesson. And then I'll get in the same video like, oh my God, dude, slow down. I can't stand the way you teach. So it's just like, you just have to pick whoever speaks to you and whoever you feel like you can learn the most from. Because I just had someone, what did they say? See, I think I'm just getting older and more cranky. Because I can't remember what they said. Something, your lesson is frustrating, unsubscribing. And pretty much, I can't see all the comments, but I've started this like bad habit of, if someone feels the need to leave like a nasty comment and like at the end, I'm unsubscribing, I'm just like, okay, cool. You know what? You're blocked from the channel, so you don't have to worry about resubscribing, which is probably not the best attitude to have. But I think after all these years of doing YouTube, I'm just like becoming the grumpy old YouTuber who just like has zero tolerance anymore. Because I think that's such a funny thing. Because like I'll unsubscribe from people who I just don't want to watch anymore, but I never feel the need to like get on there. You know what? I'm unsubscribing from you. It seems so funny to go out of your way to let someone know like, I'm unsubscribing from you because you did this. So it's just funny. Preston, yeah, jamming with other people is such a crucial thing, because I realize how bad I am at it now. Like, I used to be really good at jamming with other people, but since, I don't have time to become bitter and cynical. I have. And I can't even deny it. Like, it's, you just have to be honest with myself about it. But I don't try to hide it. I will say something that I do is, if I do choose to respond to a negative comment, or something like that, I'm always like, you know what? I took time to do that. I always make sure to respond to 2 nice comments or 2 people who are asking questions. Because like I said, unfortunately, there's a lot of comments that come in. And if I just happen to be checking and I see like a negative one, I'm like, that's just a stupid comment. And I decide to invest time into responding to them, which is, probably never the best idea. But I was like, you know what? I was able to make time to respond to that. I should respond to 2 more comments. So I always make sure that, there's always more positive comments than bad. You can't fire me because I quit. Mother names. Or it's a monster. I don't know what that is. I think they are more important than they really are. Well, and I never want the message to think that I don't think that every subscriber is important, because I do. But I feel like if you feel the need that, I wish I could remember the comment, because I can't remember it. But like I said, anytime I see that now, I'm just like, blocked. Like, good. Like, now you can't subscribe again. So I don't have to worry about going through this again. But yeah, like I said, I think it's just me getting cranky. Oh, the stickers for the pig. Yeah. Okay, I remember seeing those now. Thank you for taking time to respond to my comments. Always, man. Like I said, I try to respond to as many as possible. Guitar hack into Hizzy. Prayers for Eddie and his family. Oh man, is Eddie doing pretty bad again? I've seen so much stuff recently that I don't really know what to believe about Eddie and Ozzy and all this. Can I have a shout out, dude? Of course, Mark. Shout out. Big tent, everyone is welcome. Dude, I'm definitely unsubscribing. And you're blocked. No, I have no intention of cutting my hair, and like I said, sorry to keep it on us. I never ever go out of my way to ever be negative, to be mean, to anything. But I do think it's like one of those situations where it's like, respect is earned and not given. So if you feel like you're gonna like come on, I shouldn't even say my channel, our channel, because like I said, I view this community of people. I think our YouTube channel in particular, we have a very strong positive group of people, because I'll see people who ask questions that I miss if I'm kind of looking through the comments, and you guys will respond to them like, oh no, whether it's a question about my guitar, my gear, maybe it's just someone having a question about guitar in general. Like, I think the community on our channel is super positive and super friendly. There's no ego from people. There's a lot of people who know a lot more than me, who are generous enough to chime in, and like that's the kind of stuff I appreciate. So like I said, whenever it's someone who thinks that they get to come into our little YouTube bubble and be negative and disrespectful to one of you guys, or to myself, it's just like, bro, like that's not gonna happen. You're just gonna get blocked, and I don't have to worry about dealing with you again. You mean you remember our lessons, right? I never, other than to Sam, I'll always be mean to Sam. Thank you, Wolverine. I agree with you about the community thing, man. I don't know if the world needs any more of me, but I definitely agree about this community on here. Fun. Are you going to Winter Nam Guitar Hack? Yeah, honestly, I'm incredibly tired, but I can't believe there's 500 people here, and I feel bad leaving at this point. So I'm just kind of toughing it out. I will be honest. Sam got bullied weekly in the lessons, and I'd do it again too. Get a haircut. I wish I knew how to play Get a Haircut and Get a Real Job. I was a rebel from the day I left school. Grew my hair long, broke all the rules. Get a haircut and get a real job. I think maybe that's out of B. I can't remember. Brent Mason. Oh God, I love Brent's playing. I can't play any of his stuff. What was the one? That's what it is. Yeah. Of course, not with all this distortion on here. That, but with my job, I can't do it. Sorry to hear that, man. But hopefully you'll be at Summer Name again. No, it's definitely E. What's that song called? Gator Bite. See, one hand, it's a shame you stopped teaching SKYPE lessons, but on the other hand, that's so funny. No, man, you know what? There's a lot of, I had a lot of really, really good SKYPE students, and you were on the the top of that list, with a few other people who I really really enjoyed the lessons each week. Um, you know, it was more like I said, it was just like a mental thing. I needed some kind of mental break before I had a mental break, and lessons were just something that took up a large part of time. But I was like, well, if I can just find a way to kind of like supplement that income doing other stuff, then I think the break is needed. And luckily, I think what stopping lessons allowed me to do was to continue to keep doing YouTube at the same volume for a little bit longer. And it took about another year, and like I said, and now I'm feeling really really burnout again. So I'm gonna work on those that kind of list that I have on my phone of these videos I need to make, get them pre-shot, pre-done. There, have a great night, guitar hack. I think this guitar sounds best. I have a drive turned on right now, but once you turn this drive off and it gets this guitar back its snappiness, it sounds so good. No, man. Is that a humidifier behind you? What do you set that to? Dryer in the house with the furnace going. Yeah, so we have a boiler for heat actually, so it's a little bit better than normal dry heat. But yeah, I keep that set to I think the humidity is around here it's like 40, 45. Like if you look, I have different readers around the room. So you can see there's my humidity. It's 69 degrees in here and 45% humidity. So it's right where the guitars like it. It's kind of what amp. I'm using my Axe Effects, Wow, that was weird. The whole chat shifted, got smaller all of a sudden. I gotta say, I love the Zepp stuff you've been doing lately. Thank you, dude. I really, really appreciate that. Those videos are a lot of fun for me to make. I love nerding out about Zeppelin. Big glass water on the heater. Ooh, nice. Yeah, see, our radiator, whatever where it puts the water to heat it up. They get warm. They get really warm, but I don't know if they get hot enough to really do much. Because you can, my wife has decorations on them. It never gets hot enough to, hurt them or anything. But so far, since we had the new roof put on our house, the house has stayed, pretty comfortable. And we have a sun porch, but the sun porch was added onto our house years later, so the door that actually goes out into the sun porch from our living room is actually an exterior door, and someone took the door off. And so last year we just had to make do because unfortunately this house, all of the doors are really weird measurements because our house is old. So everything is weird. Nothing is straight. Because in old houses, they nowadays. How does it go? My dad was explaining it to me. Because this is nothing that I know. He just told me. They made the door fit the frame. and like nowadays they make the frame fit the door, or some like combination of that. Like they used to do it one way, now they do it the other way. And he was just saying that's why we have all these weird, like basically any door that we need to replace is annoyingly a custom door, because they just don't make these sizes. Like it's like super weird, oddball sizes. So we finally got a door for that one downstairs, and now it's like, regulating everything so much better. You do some Jazz 3s, yeah, baby. Need to buy more distilled water for my humidifier. Good reminder. There you go. Yeah, and we didn't know that thing has lights on it, and it'll like change colors and all that stuff. Like we had it for a while, and my wife's like, "What does this button do?" Oh my god, there's a light. Jazz 3s. I just recently switched to Jazz 3s again. I used them for about 8 years, and then I used Dragonheart for about the past 5, and I just I had started messing with Jazz 3s again, and then when I jammed with my buddy Sam Colson, his pick just had so much more attack than mine. Martin pick. I figure I'm super paranoid. I'll lose it. Oh no! Don't lose that. Don't run into this old house live stream. That's exactly what this is. Sorry, I should probably keep it about guitars, right? That song's drop D, isn't it? Is that how it goes? I thought it was drop D. Or maybe it's in D standard. It is. I think it's in D standard. That's what it is. Sam Colson is a fantastic player, and thankfully, you know what? He's even better at playing guitar. He's just better at being a great person. So, Sam is a very humble person. I mean, Sam's done a lot of stuff. Speaking about picks, in a very depressed manner, he had more attack than me. Rock, yeah, that's like the Led Zeppelin version of. Just I need that tremolo back. Down, 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 down. Oh snap! What just happened? We just entered. We just entered clean, slightly broken up territory. Where is a nice clean tone? We haven't done any clean stuff tonight. This will probably run everyone off now. Start playing. do it. I don't know enough chords. Oh. First live show of the decade. Yeah, baby. A little bit of clean for you in there. I hope you all are having a great day. Shane. Have it. Who is Bobber Draker? Bedtime, chill out. Yeah. Well, here, I'll kill this. I think you guys can get better audio out. I think it sounds good. It's a nice tone. I butchered that at the end. Cue the lava lamp. There you have it. And if I just kill this, then it's country time, baby. I'm just gonna quit now while I'm ahead. I don't know no country. Oh, Diego. SATO, Randy Rhodes. Oh, I don't know much Randy Rhodes, I'm afraid. I'll play what I know of Randy, but I don't know a lot, I'm afraid. Thank you so much for the super chat, dude. I'll gladly play you what I can. How about that? Let's see. I'm trying to think Randy Rhodes stuff I know. Well, I can never think of it. I play the same ones all the time. how do we go? Something along those lines. I don't know much, I'm afraid. That actually sounded very Eric Johnson-ish. That's because I just have too much Eric Johnson running through my veins. That tone is kind of Eric Johnson-ish. If you want to hear it. If I change this to a fuzz face, it really sounds Eric Johnson-y. Turn this up a little bit. Turn that down. I think my hands are too tired. It's too late. Yeah, I can tell my hands are just like, what are you trying to make me do? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna get it at half speed. I can't even play it at half speed right now. There we go. Sorry. My hands are just not gonna do that right now. Alright. Might be on something here. song. Who never knows? Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce your name. Comfortably Numb, second solo, please. I'm so sorry. I don't know any David Gilmour, man. I feel really bad when people send in super chats and I don't know the stuff. I'm sorry. But that song I just played is not dedicated to you. I'm super sorry. I need to learn some David Gilmour. That's actually a video idea I have, because I've never learned any Pink Floyd, like really learned it, you know. But I need to learn some. So if there's another song or solo, man, throw it out in the chat, and I'll try to keep my eye out for it and see if I can play something else that you want. That was like super impromptu. I just happened to put my finger down. I meant to go like this, and I put my finger here instead. I was like, oh, that is so much tension. But then of course I did that. The next part I did that by mistake too, and I was like, oh, that's good. Like if it was like gonna be more Phrygian, but I think it's just like Aeolian. It just has like a lot of tension to it. Let's try moving the bass net around. Thanks. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? It's funny, Strat Matt. The whole reason why I did that was I was going to explain how I stole this idea from Eric Johnson. The idea of moving the, you know, your bass note doesn't always have to be the root. It could be the fifth or whatever you want of the chord. And I did that. I mistakenly played the wrong note. Ended up sounding great, but yeah, the moving the bass note over the top of the chord. Because if you look at when I do like this, like really, what is this chord that I'm playing? Sorry, let me get this out of here. You know, just these three notes. Well, in all honesty, that's a power chord. I have my root note, my fifth, and another root. So that chord's not doing too much. There's no third in it yet. So, you know, for it to have the third of E major, I would need to have that G sharp note. So I could throw it in there if I wanted to and give me kind of a cool sounding E major chord. Like that, or you know, wherever you want to put it in at. But it's like, okay, so what if I kind of change this around? So for example, I like a lot of Sus2. Plan on buying another P90 guitar? Maybe like an LPJ or something would be cool. So I'm gonna replace this root note with the 2. So essentially now I'm giving this chord a little bit more meaning, really is what's happening. So when I do that, this chord has just become a suspended second chord. Because there's no third. Now what happens if I do add my third into it, you know, now it's an add 9. So it's a really interesting way of kind of like looking at all that stuff. And like I said, to me, it was just watching Eric Johnson do all this stuff and realizing what he was doing. He does like really complicated stuff, but some of the stuff he does is actually really, really simple. It's all about just kind of like getting the most interesting inversion of the chord. You know, so like I said, or if you wanted to be a sus4, you know, add your fourth into the mix of it. So in our case, our fourth would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, B note. So I need a B note to be in here to make this a sus4. You know. So eventually, yeah, you could walk through this. E5, E sus2, E sus4. Now here you are adding your sixth into it. What does that do to it? Don't know. Just sounds good. That's how Eric moves a lot of this stuff around, and you can do it all over the place. There you have it. Thank you. Oh, well, yeah, of course, man. Like I said, it's surprisingly, it gets really, really simple. Like I said, it seems complex, and when you really like break it down, even just, you know, having a pretty, you know, essentially basic understanding of how like the major scale works, you can manipulate it pretty quickly. Like, you know, a little is enough to, you know, be dangerous, basically. Sounds like a day of by Robin Trower. Oh, nice. I haven't listened to a lot of Robin Trower. Low end saturation is such a huge part of the tone, but the way you present the note is the biggest to me, at least. Oh yeah. It's definitely like really crucial. But one of the things to take away from that, to think about with all of this stuff, is to use any either power chord. To me, this is like where power chords are powerful, you know, not just in the sense of they sound powerful. They are the building blocks for any chord. You know, you can turn a power chord into anything, and it doesn't have to be like this. You know, this is a power chord. These two notes right here. Here's a very simple way to start playing some interesting chord inversions with basically doing nothing. And you are, like I said, a lot of you probably already know this, but if you don't, you might not even know that you do already know this. Literally, I'm sure a lot of you know the whole, like, play a D chord. And as you move that, you know, basic triad around, you know, to me, I look at it and I try to figure out what are the notes that I'm actually hitting inside of this. Well, I know this is my fifth, that's my root, and that's my third. Okay? Now, if I move this up to the E chord, okay, boom, fifth, root, third. It keeps happening like that. But the chord sounds small like this. How you make a chord sound big, you give more, you need to add more distance between your notes. Like right now, the notes are all very close, you know. So let's not play our third here. Let's play it up here. You know, so I took the same note, but instead of playing it on your high E string, I'm playing it on my low E string now. And you can play the chord however you want. I use my thumb out of habit. And so it's like, it's the most basic stuff because it's just like, do you know how to play a D chord? Boom. Well, you know how to like already come up with a bunch of inversions. So think of like a very simple 1-4-5 progression. You know, do it out of D. So what's 1-4-5 out of D? It's going to be your D, G, A. So let's just do it. Yeah. You're getting a tired brain. So there's our full 1-4-5 chord progression. Sounds totally different. Or use your index finger over it, and then work on turning this into other stuff too. So like I said, that's what Eric does. It's impossible. But like I said, I think the biggest thing, and I would never take anything away from Eric because he's one of my biggest influences. But the biggest thing to Eric's sound is how big the intervals are between his notes. Think about his whole thing. Like when you hear this, what do you think of? You know, anytime you walk. So, think about like what just happened there. The only reason this sounds to me more interesting than this is so if you did like an F sharp thing, it still sounds great, but there's not that big jump in your intervals all of a sudden. Or even if you did it like this, so if you did like F sharp. If you've ever done these chords like Dave Grohl, or like it's like Foo Fighter chord. It's used in a lot of like modern stuff. Well, all that a lot of times Eric is doing is instead of having this, he has the intervals much further apart. So he'll do it up here. So like essentially if you do this chord, that's a sus2 shape. Okay? Make it if you want it to be a major third, you have to do that. Way harder to do it that way than just go. But the secret is that big interval jump that's happening. To me, that's just like a huge part of take any basic chord that you know. You don't need to learn a bunch of new chords. I always feel like you need to learn how to use the chords you already know. And this is just stuff that, like I said, I got really lucky and had some really good guitar teachers who made me learn a lot of inversions on top of playing stuff. I've done little lessons about a lot of stuff, but I just reference this because it's really easy. And people usually get it right away. It's like if you play a G chord, we'll do the cowboy version. If you don't know it already, you're only playing 3 notes in that entire chord. You're just repeating things in octaves. So it's G, B, D, G, B, D. So you can play. How many different ways can you play a G chord right now without needing to think about it? How many different ways can you? Is that the Baker caster? Yeah, it kind of is now. I think I've played it enough. But like I said, to me, learning anything on guitar is always being honest with yourself. Like, how much do I know? And I'm like, oh God, I don't know that much. So there's a lot that I still need to do myself. And this is still the stuff that I work on all the time. But for example, like I said, G chords. How many G chords can you play? And I don't mean necessarily. that is one. That's a G bar chord. But you're actually playing more than just one G here because you're repeating so many notes. So think about like what you need. Okay, so there's a G chord. You're literally playing 2 G chords right here, and you don't even, you might not, initially know it. So think about it. G, B, D. That's all we need. There's a D. There's a G. There's a B. Here's a B. There's a D. There's a G. But move it all over the place. Anywhere you can. Boom. These are all G chords that I'm playing. They're just all over the place. And then, you kind of can sit there and be like, okay, but do the same thing that I did with the basic G chord shape, which is right here. I'm like, all right, well, let's move this around and make these intervals so much bigger. Okay? Because what if I wanted to make it a sus4? Or now it's at 9. There's different ways to do so many different things. All over the place. So to me, it's always about just taking, like, there's so much you can do with a little. Like, you don't have to know how to play the chords, and you don't even need to know what chords you're playing sometimes. Like, you can rely on your ear most of all, which is, a lot of times what I do. And I can figure it out to a degree, but sometimes you're going to play chords that you just don't know what they are. I remember I did this chord. I didn't know what it was for the longest time, and my buddy Chris told me what it was finally. It's a minor 9. It was just a chord that I can't remember even how I did it. I just did this, and I just kept like moving back, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I use it a lot whenever I'm doing like I'll kind of like, if you want to end it fancy. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, well, I hope at least hope something of that was interesting. Which is, like I said, is why I want to do a theory course, but I also worry that my theory isn't strong enough to do a course. So, it's something that we'll have to see. Like I said, end it fancy. Make it snazzy at the end. Like, you don't have to end power chord, and then you take your guitar and you shake it, even though you add zero vibrato to it. You're just shaking the guitar. I was gonna do a video. My buddy RJ Ronquillo posted, like, it was on Instagram, like the hardest guitar like he could, or chord he could play or something. It was some crazy chord, and I was like, I have this chord that I think a lot of people wouldn't be able to play, but the issue is it legitimately will hurt your hand. It'll mess up your hand because it's such a big stretch. And the trick to it, see if I can do it. See, I can feel it hurt my hand. You have to get the A note here. But you can see, so you have to go, be careful if anybody tries this. Make sure your hands are stretched out. It's 7 on the A, 7 on the D, 5 on the G, and then you have to go to 2 on the B and high E string, and then tap your A note. You can get it here. But it's, like I said, it's a really big stretch, so you have to have pretty big hands to do it. I'm sure, Oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The legato. I can't think of his name. Had huge hands. But then I was like hurting my own hand trying to play it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna make this video. No clue like what the chords were there or anything like that. I just took the shape that sounded good, and I was like, okay, walking through the scale. Oh, that's why. Ooh, that's interesting. I always do this kind of bend, where I bend from the minor third up to the major third. But what if you bent from your 2 up to your minor 3? So whatever that was turning into. But like I said, that's the thing. Like you can take the smallest sliver of an idea, and you know what's tough about that is just keeping your hand still. I'm trying to think how I could do that easily. Woohoo! Woohoo! That hurts. That's that. What is the note I want to hear there? There it is. It's just so like sleazy sounding. It's I don't know where it should go. Hopefully I'll remember this tomorrow. Oh, man. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you very much, James. Sorry, I like zoned out there. This is what happens. You just stumble upon a riff, and it's funny what the strangest things that will come out of like nothing. Like I don't know why. Like when I went like that. And then I don't know if you guys heard me do it or not, but I was like, what sound cool there is if I had the tone knob rolled down. So I have that. I need some. There's like something that it's missing, and I can't put my finger on it. Like some kind of like really weird chord needs to happen here. I can't think, like, there needs to be something in there. Almost like one chord at the end would hit. And I don't even have one on here. Hold on a second. Like I said, you know, you have the and one real chimey, just dark, you know, whatever it would be. That right there, it's something just like that, you know. I can't do without. Kind of like a call and answer kind of thing. It's getting just about dawn. That sounds cool. Like I said, you can mess with stuff for hours. Oh, thank you very much, man. I love anything that has that, like, just like I said, just that slanky groove to it. You can put it in anything, but it's just certain things carry it. D4, G1, B3, E4. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good chord. Jazz, into fancy. outside still. But alas, I was trying to hold out. I can't believe there's still 414 people here. I thought for sure everyone would be gone by now. I held out as long as I could. I'm so tired. Oh man. If I stay up any later, this video is gonna end up on the weird part of the internet, and I don't want that to happen. Oh man. Cough plug your course. Whoa, Mo guitar. Oh yeah, if you can play it, so you can learn everything that I just played. No, thank you, man. Espresso. Yeah, the espresso finally wore off. No, I am gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me. If anybody hasn't and wants to check it out, I have a link to my guitar course, which is available. It's geared more towards beginner to intermediate players. That is actually ending tomorrow. It's at 45% off, so I will plug it. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna be bouncing on out of here, and new video on Monday. I have one other beginner video that I shot that I was gonna post it today, but I was just like, after I posted the video Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I posted this one too, which I mentioned the course in the beginning, and I'm just like, oh my god, just stop plugging the course. So I was like, you know what, I'll just edit that part out of the video, and it's an AC/DC riffs for beginners that I'll post next week sometime, but it just won't have the course spiel in there. But yeah, other than that, guys, have a great night. Thank you all so much. You guys, literally, this is the first live stream of 2020, and you made it the best one we've ever done. So thank you very much. And other than that, I'm gonna go pass out right now in the bed. So hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you all later. And welcome to the new members. Thank you all the super chat people. And to anybody who checks out the guitar course, thank you, Big Red Tower, as always, for being such a great moderator and for posting all those links. But other than that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and I will see you later. Maybe. Depends on how quickly I figure out how to end this with a non-functioning brain right now. Yep, this is definitely the button.